Yeah, it's time for our final conversation of the day. We have AMVCA award-winning actor and television producer, presenter, David Akande. How you doing?
Good morning.
Welcome.
Tell us, AMVCA winning, yeah?
That was last year.
That was last year.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as it stands here, with every year and all of that, and the new things that have to come and all of that, is there pressure to keep up to the standard?
I focus on my vision as a person. That is what I do. Yeah, you have to do better, but you do not have to put pressure on yourself. Just like the way people will say, pressure to what? No.
So you come from outside here.
Yeah.
Well, how do you deal with the one from outside? Let's forget, now not yourself, but other people putting pressure on you. Maybe you've done a project and someone says, okay, we expect that maybe a producer or a director that maybe hired you and said, okay, you did this one, we expect that with this one, you should make this project move because you did this one with this project and all that. When it's from outside, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, funny enough, I just tell people, let's make good films. That's what I tell them because after the AMVCA, someone reached out to me. I was like, I want to win the AMVCA next year as well. So come and produce a film for me. And I was like,
wow.
no, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way, yeah?
I just told the person, let's make a good film. So, and when we make a good film, then we'll see what happens.
What happens?
Yeah, so but I would not tell you, you're going to win this, you're going to get this, you're going to get that.
Yeah.
No, let's just make a good film.
Fantastic.
And then we'll explore everything that happens with it.
I wanted to touch on the fact that it's a foreign language, or rather, indigenous language film that you won the award for, and it was Alaishe, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now, there must have been challenges on set while you were, producing this. And of course, I think there's another one you produced now that's about to come out.
Yes, Asha.
Let's talk a little bit about the challenges of producing movies right here in Nigeria.
One of the biggest factor, producing movies in Nigeria, one of the biggest factor I'll just talk about because of our time is the fact that filmmaking is it takes a village to make a film. So it's not just an individual effort. So, but when you get on set, basically, you have people coming around to just come and bother you. And there's this assumption that a filmmaker has some crazy money stacked somewhere and you're just plucking it on the tree, and then when you get on set, everybody's entitled to the money. And they just tell you, oh, we are the one watching your films, we are the one making you guys relevant, and then they want to collect money from you. They want to, they just come and they tell you, we'll destroy your camera. I stopped filming on the set of Alaishe for close to 3 hours. And because those boys came around and they were bothering our lives, like, you cannot film, you cannot do this. And we got permission from the community where we filmed. But the youth still came and they were like, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So it's really challenging. This is one major problem with producing in Nigeria. It's very challenging. You get to the streets, people would bother you. They would really bother you. And the same thing with Asha when I was filming. This one, I was so surprised and I was sad at the same time. Because these boys came around and they were just between the ages of 17, 18, 19.
Wow.
And then they said, we cannot film. Why? We took permission from the person we were filming. In the person's house, we have permission, we have everything. This is one thing I do. Before I film, I go like months ahead to take permission from people that want to use your place. And we were like, we cannot film, we cannot do this. And they even requested for money, and then I gave them some money, and then they called another set.
Wow.
And those ones said, oh, this is not our money. In Yoruba, they say, oh, like, this is not our money. So if you give them 10,000, they'll tell you it's too small coming from a filmmaker. So even if you give one person 10,000, they'll be like, this is too small. So really, like, it's really challenging.
I guess there could be some kind of, anxiety around filmmaking just because of these challenges. Yeah. But this hasn't stopped you. You still keep pushing through.
Definitely.
Yeah, so tell us about this latest project. What is this all about?
Yes, Asha, it's Asha, bird of prey. It's the hawk. So, but in the real sense, it's not like in the movie you're going to see a bird flying from one place to the other. It's just a symbolism of the predator and its prey. So that is what the movie is talking about. And it looks at some people in the society with strength, with power, and then how they actually prey on other people. Yeah.
So you're doing quite a lot of indigenous language films and all of that. What is there any personal um, inclination, or should I say proclivity, towards indigenous language movies when you produce them? Do you have any special thing for them and
Yeah,
all of that?
funny enough, it's not like I am just strictly with indigenous film.
Okay.
The thing is that I am dynamic and I am not rigid. I can do any kind of filmmaking. So most times I just feel like presently I have some indigenous stories. I still want to put our culture, our tradition out there
Out
for
there.
the world to see. So, and I feel there are a lot of indigenous stories that are not out there yet. So why not let's put indigenous stories out
ones,
there.
yeah.
So sometimes people tell me, oh, David, you make Yoruba films quite a lot. And I was like, oh, I featured in a number of English films.
But I don't mind though. Actually, it's not a problem. Look at
No.
if I feel like if that is where the calling is, if that is where you have it's your forte. Or more, look, like you said, there's still so many to be told, and and considering that, look, even in the international community, they rate those ones even more because you can't, if you speak English or shoots gone past them.
It's just like, I tell people, I studied English at the university, but like me being in the Yoruba, filming in Yoruba presently does not mean that I cannot cope with the English, the pressure that comes with the English industry. It's the same that you're making films, you're telling stories. Just make it intelligent, make it relatable, and let the world see.
But just one thing I just want to ask: as a producer, the producer, when we look at the producer, yeah, like you said, everybody thinks money. I think of it. For an upcoming producer, man, how do you get to do all of this?
It's
How do you get to do? How do you get to source for the funds and all of that to put all of this together? How does someone start in this?
Presently, it's still more of like a teamwork and more of personal funding. Like, except I get commissioned for a job.
Wow.
If it's my project, then like Elisha, it's just myself, Demola Yusuf, Edgar Leroy. We all came together and we got the job done.
Nice.
Asha is a commissioned project by Rednon Studios, and they partnered with David Akande Studios, which is my studio. And then we came together, we made this happen. So, and we have Boyega Show as the director, and then Ofemi Familoye as the executive producer.
It feels like collaborations are really the in thing now.
The in thing.
Partnerships,
Yes.
making things work, especially with the younger producers, the more new Nollywood producers. But are there any of the former, or let's say more matured, older Nollywood producers that you look up to? Who do they say your work reminds them of?
Really, I think my work is still David Akande, but in real sense, you see me in my work, but I really look up to a lot of people as well. And growing up, I watched a lot of TK's film, like Oleku to Tunde Kalani, Oleku to Thunderbolt to Shawaride, and those films shaped the way I think, because what makes the difference between someone that is doing films that you celebrate so, oh, this film is very good, and the person that sometimes you see their film like, oh, I think they can. It's just the mind sometimes. It's not really about the work there. Your mind works, what you feed your mind with determines your output as a filmmaker. So I have seen a lot of TK's film, and then I'm like, okay, there's a way culture should be represented in filmmaking. There's a way stories needs to be told. Then I look at this film like, okay, I want my filmmaking to be like this. And then growing up, eventually I saw a couple of Kunle Afolayan's films as well, and I'll be like, oh, yes, this is the standard. This is the way we should go. So I watch the way they do their things. Like, they don't need to put out 20 movies in a year. Sometimes it can just be 1, 2.
Yeah.
But the 1 or 2.
That's standard, yeah.
Like,
the standard.
funny enough, Kunle Afolayan released only Anikulapo last year. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
True.
Just one.
Just one. So, but I just want to ask this final question now. That standard you're talking about, on the average, how much would it cost to produce that standard of movie? If I wanted the total cost.
I would not put a price to it.
Okay, give us a range.
Filmmaking is expensive. That's what
Give us a range. Give us a range, or a minimum, or something. Just give us something, an idea.
It is difficult because you need a script. Like, the script tells you what
I
range
know.
anything
But just, okay, you have
And
seen
of course
scripts
the
now.
genre.
On the average, just let. If I hold 200K, have you produced movie?
Maybe you get a producer that will do that for you.
You see where I'm coming from now. See, if I get 2 million, will I produce a movie?
I think you still get people that will do that for you.
Yeah.
20 million?
This is Nigeria. You see, anything you want to do,
David, you don't get my point. I just want.
You want me to give you a figure?
No, it doesn't mean that that's your figure. What I'm saying, if I want to produce a movie, what should I be looking at? Just an idea. Maybe a minimum, like, to get anybody out there. Yeah. Okay, if it's you now and I say I want to get you to commission a movie at the standard of Aniko Lakpo, what's the minimum? What do you think someone should be looking at?
Then you're talking hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions?
Yes.
Okay, that's where to start from, hundreds of millions. So just have an idea how people can get it, because people might not know what it takes to put all of this together. Hundreds of millions.
Yeah, but as an indie filmmaker, independent filmmaker, I tell people it is possible. It is possible. I didn't produce Elisha with the crazy money.
Budget and all of that.
No. Like, so it is possible. It's just that I will not give you a figure, but it is I am not only flying right now.
I understand.
I am not like, not yet. That's what I said right now. I am not, but I am making films. I am making good films. So,
with what is available?
What I have.
All right.
With what my team can come.
You know what? The same way, there's a budget for films. We have a nice minimal budget meal that we put together for you. Chef Kaizen is showing us how to put together dirty rice. Let's go have a taste.
All right, yeah.